Hello, my name is Nick Kaufman, Head of Partnerships at inCitu, and I'm here with Kristian Toth, our lead 3D engineer, and we are going to present a DevCon online session called From Autodesk Data Exchange to inCitu AR, a new interface for built environment proposals. So first of all, inCitu AR is a online web-based no-code platform for bringing the future of cities to life in augmented reality and creating location-based augmented reality projects from your designs for the built environment. So the agenda today is we're going to talk about inCitu AR. We're going to introduce Autodesk Data Exchange and our inCituDX integration. And then Kristian is going to walk us through a workflow for starting in Revit, importing through inCitu's DX integration into inCitu AR, and optionally extending to ArcGIS Online. So inCitu AR is a startup whose mission is to bring the future of cities to life via on-site, on-location mobile AR experiences to radically lower the friction to communicate and understand projects in situ for internal and external collaboration. We work with city governments, developers, AEC companies, and other technology products to make this a seamless portal to the real living city from your plans. So from individual buildings to master plans, infrastructure initiatives to climate policies, urban futures can be visualized on site today through inCitu AR. And our clients do projects on everything from affordable housing, land use applications, mixed use developments, climate resilience projects, sea level rise impact evaluations, and transportation infrastructure projects. So this is how a little bit about how inCitu AR works. It starts with just a 3D model of the design, which can be published anywhere, geolocated to a specific site in AR and accessed via a mobile QR code from your mobile or tablet device. It's a very accessible and low barrier way for the public to understand your project and to communicate with project stakeholders. So the on-site mode geolocates the project at real scale on location, as you see on the left. We also have tabletop mode to view projects offsite at room scale. And then we have a online desktop and web viewer where you can see the project and a details page and link out to surveys and so forth. So we do this to meet people where they are, to not just reach the same 10 people in a planning meeting, but actually get your information about your project out onto the street for on-site activation and organic engagement, and to see things in their natural context. So we have several integrations already with Autodesk ecosystem and Esri's ArcGIS online ecosystem. And this is part of a growing integrations landscape that we're developing and we're going to be showcasing today. So right now, our mission is basically putting the C and AR button everywhere that you are using your planning and architecture tools already. So we've already connected with ArcGIS Online Suite, and we have a pre-existing plugin for Autodesk's Forma, which was, I guess, now called the Autodesk Building Designer. And now we have a new integration called inCituDX, which is connecting through Autodesk Data Exchange to Construction Cloud, or now the new Autodesk Forma platform. And we're going to showcase a workflow today, starting in Revit, where you take your Revit file, create a data exchange, and then share that information directly with inCitu AR, where you can see it in AR or continue through our other integrations to a variety of tools. And this is where I'll turn it over to Kristian to continue the workflow and show us how it starts in Revit.
Thank you, Nick. Okay, so I can share my screen.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so we opened the sample model, like a Revit sample model, to show this workflow, like how can we export a Revit file and get it to all the way to ArcGIS Online through Autodesk Data Exchange. So we have the full sample file with all the details and all the layers and elements. So using the filters or visibility graphics, we can turn off some details that we don't need. So usually those are some internal details like plumbing, electrical units, and all sort of things that is not visible from the user perspective from outside. So this is how the prepared 3D view looks. From here, if we have installed the Data Exchange connector for Revit, we can use it to upload the model to Autodesk Forma. So it will load our existing data exchanges, and using the selected 3D view, we can just create this exchange, set the name, and select the filtering, and this is the current view. And if we create the exchange, this exchange will appear on the project files on Autodesk Forma, previously Autodesk Construction Cloud. Or we can save this file to the cloud and as a cloud model. And from there, using Autodesk Docs, we can also create the data exchange. So I will open that now, Autodesk Forma. This is our data exchange that we exported. And it will show the same 3D view that we had in the Revit. Or we can also find the Revit file, what we saved to construction, what we saved to Autodesk Docs. And from here, by selecting the 3D view, we can create a data exchange. So it's the same flow. So we don't need to be in Revit to do this. So we can receive a Revit file in Autodesk Docs, and then using that, we can create the data exchange. So it's a really simple workflow. And from here, we have everything we need, and we can start importing the data exchange to inCitu. So let me open again our data exchange. And from here, we can use new project and use Autodesk Data Exchange. So this will show a new pop-up where we can sign in with our Autodesk account and allow the permissions to use the data exchange and 3D to generate the 3D content. All we need to do is grab the URL from the browser and paste it here to the model. And this will run in the background and get all the information and generate the 3D model. Okay, so the 3D model is loaded from the data exchange. And in this process from Revit Data Exchange and inCitu, the textures are not yet supported, but the material colors and some material attributes are preserved. And we can use the scene editor, the inCitu scene editor, to make further adjustments to the 3D model. We see here the estimated size, which is approximately 10 megabytes, and the file size limit is 35 megabytes. We can use the object editor on the left to enable or disable additional elements, also set the 3D model origin point. This will help with the georeference and the geo-anchor accuracy. We can use additional tools to set the scale, the rotation, and the other 3D transformations. Okay, so continue. The next step is to georeference our model. So we can enter an address and set the georeference for the model. So let's use this one. Using the 3D Gizmo tool, we can position the model, set the rotation, and if needed, also adjust the scale. Okay. So this step will georeference the model, set the coordinates, the altitude, the elevation, and if the user is on site, the model will be geologged on this position and it will appear through real scale. Okay, we can go next. So in this step, we can set the project name, some additional information for the app clip, the subtitle, and some additional AR configurations. And here on the step 4, we are doing the publishing.
So once you publish your AR project, you will have a QR code that is linked to the AR, and end viewers can use the QR code to access your project from any smartphone or tablet without downloading the inCitu app. But first, to test your project on location, you will want to download the inCitu app from the App Store or Play Store so that you can use the on-site edit mode. I will show you what the project looks like on location. So when you have your demo and go to the location where you published it, you will be able to see the model in situ. Now, with the edit mode controls, which you can toggle on in the top right, you'll be able to adjust the position of the building, rotation, and the scale to fine tune it for the specific location you are viewing from. Sometimes geospatial AR can have a little bit of drift or inaccuracy, 1 to 5 meters, depending on where you're standing on the street grid. So this method allows you to do the fine tuning. So I'll hand it back to you, Christian, to talk about optionally extending your project to an ArcGIS online map.
Thank you, Nick. So if we want to publish the content to ArcGIS Online, we should enable the toggle under the integrations. So this will generate content to your portal. If you're not signed in, it will ask you to sign into your portal. And after publishing, all the content will be available. So it will generate a feature layer, a scene layer, and the file geodatabase. Okay, so the content is generated, and from here we can open the web scene. And in scene viewer, we should see the same 3D model on the same latitude and longitude. And here we can make adjustments to the scene. We can also start the experience, the AR experience from the QR code, or we can generate additional applications on ArcGIS Online, which are the 360 VR, instant apps, experience builder, story maps, dashboards, and also the layer is compatible with ArcGIS Urban, ArcGIS Pro, and like basically all the ArcGIS products that can use the 3D object scene layer.
And if you
Back
want to have a ArcGIS Online map that has multiple projects on it, you can use this scene layer and bring it into a digital twin map or whatever you're building for your multi-project site.
Yes, exactly. Back to inCitu, we can open the project and preview on inCitu 2D map, and also see the 3D model in a 3D map. We can see here additional description or the project reviews, or share the projects from a QR code, or share the link. And this is the same 3D view. So basically it's the same what we saw in ArcGIS Online.
And you'll be able to go back and edit the inCitu AR project, keeping the same QR code. You'll be able to edit the position of the model, replace the model, change the name and description as you wish. The QR code will remain intact, and the editing positioning you've done with the mobile app will also remain. If the data exchange is updated, I believe then you will need to create a new inCitu project with the data exchange link. Is that right, Kristian? To reflect the changes in the data exchange?
Yes, yes, but in the next phase of this integration, we are planning to make additional functions which will simplify the updating. So if the data exchange is updated, we can track the versions and update also the inCitu project. So those two can be in sync.
So as of March 30th, 2026, this is how the integration is working. Are there any other plans for the future roadmap, Kristian?
Yes, for data exchange, we want to simplify the project import. So we want to use the data exchange GraphQL API to, instead of pasting the URL, we will able to load all your compatible data exchanges, and you can select from the list, and also the version tracking, what I mentioned, will be visible in that new UI and UX.
And what happens right now if your data exchange is over the file size limit for inCitu AR, being 35 megabytes?
Yeah, so if the data exchange is too large, it will show an error message that that the file is too large to use in inCitu. So in that case, you can go back to the Revit, or like ask someone to further simplify the 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 data exchange, or use the scene editor to do that, and you will
Understood.
be. Yeah.
So it's a good idea to pre-optimize the model in your Revit view and simplify as much as possible for AR. Working in AR, we're mostly concerned with the exterior shell of the building and keeping that detail as low as possible. Since if you're intending for viewers to view it at real scale, consider spending more detail on the ground level on the side that your viewers will be viewing the building from, and cutting more detail from the areas that the viewers might not be able to look at directly, such as the roof or the back of the building. So I will share the link to our integration on the Autodesk App Store. This is where you can find us right now. As Kristian mentioned, this is a new integration that is in development, so we would appreciate your feedback, testing out the integration and letting us know if it's useful for you and how we can improve it. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see your AR projects very soon.
Thank you.